Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to go into Unearthed Arcana, and we are going to take a look at Gloves of Thievery. Why this item? Well, why not? I like this item. I've actually had it used to good effect in my campaign, so I thought, why not? So, Gloves of Thievery. There we go. This normal-seeming handwear radiates a faint aura of enchantment and alteration. When placed snugly upon the hands, these gloves cannot be seen except by means of magical sight or detection. Wearing them allows the possessor to open locks as if a 7th level thief and pick pockets as if a 5th level thief. If actually worn by a thief, the gloves enable him or her to operate thus or gain 5% in both categories if already equal to or above the stated levels due to advancement. So what that means is if it's not worn by a thief, you get to pick or open locks at 7th level and pickpockets at 5th. Really good powers, especially if you're a group that's light on thieves. If you have one or that thief is incapacitated in some way, it's nice to have these gloves to fall back on. Notably, the thief or the wearer, I guess I should say, cannot check for traps. So that can be a problem with the open locks because you can't check for traps. And the pickpockets, as if a 5th level thief. Pickpockets is something I don't see a ton at my table. I have seen it some, but it's not something my players usually do unless they are looking to start trouble somewhere, which they've done in the past, and it's always kind of fun. So you can give these as a backup in case you only have one thief in the group, or as I've had happen, the thief that was going to play that night couldn't make it, so I put the gloves in to kind of, make it a little better for the group. But they're also a good lower experience item to give. To that end, let's take a look at the experience, because I forgot to look it up before I started the video. And I know I could edit and all that stuff, but why bother? Okay, Gloves of Thievery, 1,000 experience points, right there. So 1,000 experience points, so it's a nice, kind of easy magic item to give to a lower level group. These gloves don't see a lot of use beyond 8th, 9th, 10th level. I mean, they bump the thief a little bit, but usually it's not anything of any significance. Where these gloves really come into their own, though, is a scenario that I had run a couple of years ago, where, for reasons in the story, an NPC important to the players was arrested by the local authorities and thrown in jail. They couldn't figure out how to get him out. So they decided that their thief, wearing the Gloves of Thievery, would go ahead and get incarcerated. He'd be put in, hopefully be in the same cell or at least close to this guy. He would be able to pick the lock and get them out. And I realized the thief didn't necessarily have to have the gloves, but it was kind of neat that the gloves can't be seen unless searched or unless used magic to find them. So I just thought it was kind of fun. So the players went along with this plan. They got the guy in. They ended up in the same cell, the NPC and the player, the thief who was incarcerated. And the thief used his skill at lockpicking and only made it because of the 5% bonus given by the gloves. And then they were able to slip out and get away. So it was a nice little side trek to the adventure I was doing. And the players really seemed to enjoy it. They really kind of embraced this whole breakout thing. And they staged a distraction so that the thief could work unimpeded and things like that. But overall, it was a lot of fun. The gloves are not phenomenal, but they're a nice kind of none such to give a group early. No earlier than 3rd or 4th level, in my opinion. But this way you've got a little backup, at least in the open locks department, in case your one thief can't make the game that night or is incapacitated. Either one is fairly likely, so it's a way to kind of compensate for that. I actually put in a pair of gloves that gave slightly better enhancement to the player, let them operate as 7th level, 9th level open locks and 7th level pickpockets, just to bump it a little bit. The group needed some help, and that went pretty well. These are just nice gloves. You could also do other stuff with the gloves to, they're not detectable, but maybe he being the wearer of the gloves could slip something in the palm of his hand where that would help give them an advantage to get out of the situation. Whatever you wanted to do, because the gloves cannot be detected, I have ruled that anything underneath the gloves can't be detected, and that would include a ring. So if you have somebody that gets arrested, They're searched. They aren't wearing a ring as far as anybody can tell, short of magical checking. They get thrown into the cell, and they have the ring that's been with them all along. Maybe the ring's got a knock spell on it. Anything like that. There's a lot of ways you can use these gloves, but the main power is not just in the thief skills they give, but the fact that they're not detectable when worn. And that can give you a lot of different story arcs to go with. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave me comments below about how you've used these gloves. If they've been good, if they've been bad, let me know. I'll also take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. And that's it for today. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.